I was just anticipating that the physical newspapers would be here by the time we start. The supply wetu ni kama amechelewa kidogo, but don't worry, we do have the e-papers with us, and the Standard, just like yesterday, they begin with a story about the deputy president's position, but this time around they're talking about the position itself, not just about the current deputy president. So they call it the poisoned chalice. Yeah. So is it an illusion? The office is only a heartbeat away from the house on the hill, yet it has become Kenya's most dangerous political seat as power slowly slips from Deputy President Kithure Kindiki's grasp and speculation over his future gathers pace despite his repeated denials. The familiar script of isolation, humiliation and possible political extinction appears to be unfolding once again. History is replete with such cases, from Jaramogi Oginga Odinga and Mwai Kibaki to George Saitoti, William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. The country's second in command has repeatedly discovered that proximity to power offers no guarantee of security. The harsh reality Kindiki may yet confront is that denial has never slowed or stopped the political downfall of deputies who fail to read the signs of the times. Hata ukideny, you are stopping nothing. Wakati ikifika, wanasema siku ya nyani kufa, miti yote uteleza. Even if you deny. Ikishaanza kuenda hivi, hiyo sijasikia hiyo methali ingine. Kuna mtu anajaribu kutufunza Kiswahili hapa.
Siku ya ndevu kula mwanawe.
Hiyo sijui inamaanisha nini. But either way, for the position of deputy president, since even the new constitution, I know this story goes as far back as independence, the first vice president, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Either way, the script is the same. The first deputy president, after that position was came to be, was the current president, William Ruto. For the first time, he was okay. There was bromance between him and his boss. Then we don't know what happened. But the casualty is always who? The deputy.
So that position is a poison chalice.
It's a poison chalice. If you get into that position, iko shida hapo. From the word go. You get to enjoy a few days of comfort. Zile za kwanza. Just like a new marriage. Honeymoon phase. Mapenzi tele.
You're not above the program.
Script ni ile. I think the script writer is the same. Then came Rigathi Gachagua. He was even short-lived. He stayed there for how long? 3 years.
Is it 3 or even 2?
2 years, imagine. Only 2 years. At least William Ruto did the entire 10. But for the second term, since 2018, after that handshake with Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, ikaanza kuleta shida. But still he went up until the end. This gentleman here, Professor Kithure Kindiki, has done 2 years now?
Yeah, 2 years.
No, less than 2 years, because I think the impeachment was in October.
So, and some months.
Yeah, so he's... amebakisha like 2 months. Afikishe 2 years. Alafu senior councillor Ahmed Nasser Abdullahi says that he should resign and he should do so before October. Watu wamemwadvise wengi wanasema he should resign. Because can you imagine if at all he doesn't resign, because the president does not have the authority to fire him, only through impeachment. Would President William Ruto go for another impeachment of a deputy president? I really doubt. So the only option that the president has is to probably just wait for his resignation. If he doesn't, then he goes into 2027 as deputy president. Then the president picks another running mate for his campaigns. Then what will his position be? He'll be the deputy president, but he knows my time is up. I'm just waiting for election day. It will be a rather awkward position, whether he likes it or not. It would only be tenable if he is deputy president and President William Ruto is running it at the same time.
2027.
2027. Tunangoja. Letu jicho tu. Even though watu sema sindio?
Yes.
Letu jicho tu. So, poison chalice. But what does it say about any other deputy president who comes in? What happens once you get into that position? Unangojea tu kwenda nyumbani. You know it's just a matter of time. You will go home nonetheless. You'll not get, and it's very humiliating the way you exit. It's not as good or as there are no butterflies and birds chirping when you get into the office. So that's the main story on the Standard. The other story on the front page, Golden Bag 2. Gold scandal in the making, they ask. So all that glitters they say, is not gold. So President William Ruto has handed the Central Bank of Kenya sweeping powers to trade, import and hold gold, igniting fears that history could repeat itself. You remember gold in Bagwan, where one Kamlesh Patni was actually exporting gold from Kenya. Remember, hata ile Kolomani ekwangi gold enough, but Kenya was exporting gold. Now that time, the law said that if you export gold, you're given a refund by the government. So the refund, according to the gold he claimed he had exported, was running into billions of shillings, and he got that refund. That was a scandal, because Kenya does not have that value of gold. So where was he getting the gold to export, then get a refund from the government? They say it was coming from Congo. Right now, nasikia a lot of gold is coming from Sudan. Is that what is happening? That you can read for yourself on page 6 of the Standard. That's the Standard today.
Yeah. All right, tuangalie gazeti la Taifa Leo. Kindiki kona mbaya. That is the main headline on the front page, and it says that ODM yamezea mate cheo cha naibu rais, matokeo Olkalau yakisawiri Kithure kama asiye na mnato mlimani. Na amenukuliwa hapa katika ukurasa wa mbele. Anasema kwamba kazi ya naibu rais ni kuhudumu kama msaidizi wa karibu wa rais. Kindiki ameonyesha sifa ambazo zinamwezesha kuendelea kuhudumu kwa wadhifa huyo. Huyo ni mdadisi wa masuala ya kisiasa anaitwa Steve Ngari. So that's the main headline on the front page leo. Kindiki kona mbaya. ODM unajua wameongea ni kama wako 100% sure they're taking that seat. Yeah, when they were affronting Oparanya.
But Kithure Kindiki, on his Twitter post, he says nothing has changed 12 hours ago. That is his latest post. Nothing has changed. Yesterday we saw there was a letter saying that kuna some roles amenyang'anywa. Okay, hajanyang'anywa. Zimepewa mtu mwingine.
Ni kunyang'anywa.
Na tuliona barua, lakini anasema nothing has changed. Well, denial.
All right. NMG Uganda kurejelea shughuli zake baada ya idhini ya Rais Museveni. Wamerudi?
Hawajarudi bado, because they said they've released a statement saying that they are going to resume their different, there was TV, radio, and the newspapers. They're saying they're trying to resume slowly. So in the next 1 week, they will have fully resumed, and we'll have probably the Daily Monitor back. Because we've been struggling. The New Vision naonanga haraka ya kurelease magazeti yao.
All right, so this story says that kampuni ya Nation Media Group Uganda sasa inatarajiwa kurejelea shughuli zake kikamilifu mwezi mmoja baada ya kufungwa mnamo Juni tarehe 28. Hii ni baada ya kusitisha shughuli zake kufuatia operesheni ya kijeshi iliyozima matangazo ya vituo vyake vya televisheni na redio pamoja na kuathiri uchapishaji wa magazeti. Vidokezo zaidi, IEBC wahuni walitumika Olkalau. IEBC imesema kwamba magenge yalitumwa kutishia wapiga kura na kuzua tishio kuu kwa uadilifu wa uchaguzi Olkalau. What did they do about it?
Yes. Sasa ndo wamegundua. But anyway, it's their report. They agree kulikuwa na goons. But sisi tulikuwa najua. Ama ndo umejua saa hii.
Mshangao ndovi 14 kufa Ambweseli. KWS imeanzisha uchunguzi kuhusu vifo vya kutatanisha vya ndovu 14 Ambweseli mwezi uliopita. Watu 30 wavamiwa na kuuawa kijijini alfajiri. Hiyo ni habari kutoka Nigeria. Kule juu, NCIC sasa kuchunguza Duale na Gachagua. Inachunguza wawili hao kuhusu matamshi ya chuki, uchochezi wa kikabila. Wote wa hapa kupuuza tume hiyo. Mmoja anasema haendi kama mwingine haitu. Mwingine anasema hapana, we are using figurative speech. So that's not hate speech.
Sasa hapo ndio wanasema this is inaitwaje hizo? Ile mambo ya literature.
Yes.
Kutumia poetic license.
Yeah.
Unatumia vitu ambavyo haumaanishi. Irony and hapa na hiyo tutakubali. Basi watasema hata ile hyena ilikuwa ni figurative language.
Yes, alisema ni figurative speech. Yeah.
Ukiitwa fisi.
Wewe ni fisi.
Ati wewe ni fisi?
Yes, ukiitwa fisi sasa wewe ni fisi. So what will you do about it?
Anyway, That should not be the language from anyone, calling anyone fisi. I know vijana huwa wanatania sana wakiitana fisi wewe, lakini calling a community anything or branding a community any name, that should be something that should be tantamount to a crime. So the NCIC, and we called them out the other day, I think on Monday, they need to do something. Statements will not suffice for now. We need action. Kama wanataka kuitwa wote pamoja, call them all together, all of them. Yeah, and any other person who's supposed to appear before the NCIC. All right, let's move on to the third paper this morning. This is a Daily Nation. Still focusing on the Deputy President. And the picture of the Deputy President, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki akijikuna kichwa, mambo yameenda segemnege, and they say under siege. Yeah. Cornered, they ask, a fallout with President Ruto triggered Rigathi Gachagwa's ouster as Deputy President after 2 years. His successor, Kithure Kindiki, also finds himself in a precarious position nearly 2 years into his tenure, albeit for different reasons. While the loyalty of the man who once served as Ruto's lawyer is unquestionable, recent political developments, including ODM's demands, are raising the question: is his position as a president's running mate in next year's election secure? The Deputy President is quoted himself saying, I know we are now many in government because the likes of Oparanya have joined us. And why did he pick on Oparanya? Because ODM wamesema that's their choice. He continues to say, but we are not leaving. We will fight it out with them because this is our government. Serikali ni ya nani? Ni yetu. So the Deputy President says he is ready to fight for his position. Meanwhile, ODM says it's non-negotiable. The running mate's position is the party's irreducible minimum. That is there on the front page of the Daily Nation today. So what will happen? Yeah, I think all political analysts are wanazungumzia to the position of Deputy President. Will President William Ruto pick or stick to, pick him as a running mate? He's never been the running mate. He's just been Deputy President. Now, for the first time, he could be the running mate. Or will he move to western part of the country to stick his running mate? The story has received quite some coverage on page 4 and 5. Kindiki under siege as 2027 succession battle gets underway. Every political move by the professor, every presidential tour, and every opinion poll is increasingly being interpreted through one question: is the Deputy President secure? Hilo tu ndo swali. The DP has defended his post and political base amid onslaught by rivals. Away from that story, which has received quite some prominence on the dailies today, victims of overseas study scam protest outcome of graft case. This has to do with that while walikuwa naenda Finland, following that acquittal by former governor of Uasin Gishu, the senator Jackson Mandago. So watu kule Uasin Gishu wametokea kukataa hiyo maneno. These are parents and guardians as well as students who lost money in an overseas scholarship program run by the Uasin Gishu County government, demonstrating on the streets of Eldoret yesterday following last week's acquittal of the senator. You can read that story on page 8. Hey, drink spiking. Woman arrested after more victims report losing money. Yeah, hours after arresting Alice Wamogo Mwangi for allegedly stupefying and robbing a matatu lobby's official, detectives linked her to 3 similar cases. Huyu ni sugu. Huyu ni sugu. Including one that ended in the death of a quantity surveyor. That story is on page 3. And she's pictured there in police custody. She's the main suspect in the death of a quantity surveyor, Edgar Mukua. And she was arrested and she's seen here at the Karatina police station. And she's so confident. Unajua, most other suspects who want to hide their faces. This one doesn't look like she's hiding. Yeah. So the victims usually lose phones and money. Chunga sana. 3 men who fell victim lost a cumulative 1.7 million shillings and their phones. Yani kazi kidogo tu hivi unaingia bao unatoka na kitita. Drink spiking. So they caught her by tracking her phone, and it was established it had been in vicinity of those belonging to 3 victims in the nights they were dragged. NMG's Uganda outlets reopened after state shutdown for 1 month. We've talked about it. So at least we are hoping to be getting at least the front page of the Daily Monitor very soon. That will be such a relief, I can tell you. The other story, students face high university loans in plan. More coming up. Unajua ile president last Tuesday alisema now it will be fully state funded if you go to university. Many people are asking how, and the confusion still persists because while the president quotes the HELB amendment bill, the Minister for Education quoted a different one, and that's the tertiary education bill, which could collapse even HELB. So which is which? Now, according to the Daily Nation, it will be loans. So by the time you finish university, you'll have a lot more loans. Students to shoulder higher varsity loans in Ruto plan. Loan burden fears since most graduates don't secure jobs soon after studies. Unamaliza university, uko na loan tayari. Haujapata kazi. Unafuatwa na CRB. So utakuwa unamaliza university unaingia CRB.
Yes.
Straight. The other story, see her at the rally. Maxine Wahome walks free. That's a story on page 3. This is the rally driver, Maxine Wahome, who has been acquitted of the murder of fellow rally driver Asad Khan. She's only 28 years old, and I'm sure it's such sigh of relief for her.
Yeah.
Then, still from the courts, and this is interesting, High Court lifts shisha ban, declares continued enforcement unlawful. So watu wengi sana wamekuwa arrested sababu ya kupatikana na shisha. Na a lot of bars and restaurants have also been closed at one time or the other for shisha or for selling shisha. Now the High Court says there's nothing like that. There's no ban on shisha. All right, those are just some of the main stories there. On the back page, go for it, my son. Father's text that fuels Serem's gold run. Podium sweep as trio revives Kenya's hope to rule men's 3,000-meter steeplechase again. And there's a picture there. Kenyans Edmund Serem, Simon Kiprop Koech, and Leonard Kipkemoi bet in action during the men's 3,000-meter steeplechase final at the Commonwealth Games. So congratulations to the three. Endeleeni vivo hivo. All right, that's the Daily Nation.
Paper Daily, Ruto's Mount Kenya fight back. They say stung by all Kalau laws, the president rolls out a high-stakes strategy of development alliances and grassroots outreach to win back the vote-rich region. This story is on page 4. Let's see the strategies that they say President William Ruto is using. They say how Ruto hopes to win back Mount Kenya after all Kalau debacle. Sources familiar with President's plans say he's not keen on the kind of decisive support he got in 2022 and has targeted at least a sizable share to go a long way in securing a second term. Right, so the option of deploying Deputy President Kithure Kindiki to consolidate support in Mount Kenya East region is also on the table, especially now that there are calls to split the mountain into Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. That story is on page 4. There's another story here.
Again, that story they've used on the front page of the People Daily, just like yesterday.
Yeah.
They're using an AI-generated image on the front page. Is it a new way of doing things? Is it that we cannot get the picture of the president? I don't know.
What message are they sending?
But this is the second time I'm seeing the People Daily using AI-generated images on the front page. Ni sawa tu, they've been using cartoons as well on the front page, so why not? It is 2026.
August House or Auction House inside Kenya's broken legislature. That's another story on page 6. Murkomen, Kenya's most criticized cabinet secretary, they ask, it's a question, and it's on page 2. They say, is this Kenya's most heavily criticized cabinet secretary? That CS's combative style when responding to critics or making controversial remarks amid allegations of excessive use of force to goons having a free reign has done him no favors.
But he threatens a lot. Tuta arrest, tutashika, hatutakubali. Then he does nothing.
Yeah. So caustic tongue, they call him. This is his aggressive style. Yeah.
Hatutakubali.
It has been praised by some Kenya Kwanza leaders and supporters who view him as a robust defender of government policies. That's a story on page 2, how government borrowing is killing small businesses in Kenya. That's a story on page 8, and that's the People Daily.
All right, from the People Daily, let's take a look at the Star, and it talks about IEBC signaling end to 2027 live poll results. This will be very decisive. Live streaming of results has been scrapped. Huh? Key changes. Live streaming of results scrapped. Why? IEBC under no legal obligation to live stream results, or IEBC. Yeah. Live streaming of election results could be scrapped if proposals in a new bill, yes, it is a proposal, relax, yeah, for consideration by Parliament are carried to the end. Why would they want to scrap that you can live stream results? What's the big deal? Because many people have said we will live stream results from every polling station. Why do you want to end that? Yeah. A proposed election laws amendment bill deletes the provision in the Elections Act that requires IEBC to establish a mechanism for live streaming results as they are announced at polling stations. What would that mean? How decisive will this be? Back to the front page, Kamau boards matatu for swearing in as All-Kaloe MP. He was sworn in yesterday in Parliament, accompanied by those gentlemen and ladies in green. Wanakaa kama ile EFF ya Julius Malema in South Africa. Sasa whenever they want anything special in Parliament or they have a special day, they are dressed in green. So he boarded a matatu, 3N2. 3N2 Sacco. Kutoka All-Kaloe. He's maintaining the script, a man of the people. The president is also there on the front page. He had hosted Kenyan winners of the 2026 Huawei Global ICT competition at State House, and is pictured there with some of the winners. That's the Star. Fresh, independent, different. Grab yourself a copy of this paper for only 60 bob.
Hiyo story ya kuvaa green National Assembly, Speaker amekataa.
Amekataa tena?
Yes, amesema there's no uniform in the National Assembly.
Really? What if it's a coincidence? Tukikuja tumevaa tu purely by coincidence, what would happen?
Well, Business Daily. Michael Joseph joins De La Rue after shares deal. UK-listed group cedes 60% stake to Mauritius firm. Former Safaricom CEO joins board of banknote printer. He's also here on the front page. That is the former Safaricom Chief Executive Michael Joseph. He has been appointed to the De La Rue Kenya EPZ board. NMG Uganda to resume operations after Museveni nod. So are they resuming today? Because sasa, they're set to resume. On the ticker, Kenya targets open AI Meta in foreign AI models control plan. Safaricom Ethiopia reaches 14.7 million customers in profits race. And state faces cash crisis as 181 billion shillings treasury bills fall due. That's the Business Daily. All
right. Let's take a look at what's the big headline in across the region. And we start off in Uganda. Finally, I've gotten a copy of Wednesday's edition of the New Vision. Talk about NRM sweeping LC1 elections. So that's big news in Uganda. And the other big news is Uganda has been declared Ebola free. It is there on the front page of the New Vision. So kama Kenya mko na Ebola, hiyo ni shida yenu. Uganda, which neighbors DRC, is Ebola free.
Hatuna really. Hatuna.
That is as far as Uganda is concerned. If we take a look at the Tanzanian papers, we start off with the Citizen. Bank of Tanzania signals new crypto regime. The Bank of Tanzania has completed a virtual assets assessment and developed a regulatory concept that could enable formal oversight of cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, and blockchain-based digital assets in Tanzania. They also make mention of President Museveni clearing return of Nation Media Group operations in Uganda. Gazeti la Mwananchi inazungumzia vilio upigaji dawa za wagonjwa hospitalini. Mashuhuda waeleza mazingira yanayoshabihiana. Hiyo ni ngumu. Kwenye hospitali tofauti. Waganga wakuu, wizara watoa kauli. Unajua waganga, sisi tukisikia waganga hapa Kenya tunajua sisi mambo imeisha. Waganga huko ni mambo tu ya matibabu. Na bado wanazungumzia WHO yasisitiza mapambano homa ya ini. Yesterday was hepatitis B day, and in Tanzania I think it is a big discussion, so they follow it up. In Kenya we moved on. We just mentioned it somewhere on page 3 of one paper and we moved on. Gazeti la Mwananchi kule Tanzania. Tukirejea nyumbani tuangazie Karakacha.